One may endeavor. Without the mercy of Vaishnavas, we cannot make progress in our spiritual path. Therefore, we pray to Srila Prabhupada to please always keep us under the shade of his most merciful lotus feet and engage us in the service of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga and Krishna. On the auspicious day of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day, seeking his grace blessing, we would like to start today's session. Hare Krishna, our beloved devotees, it gives us immense pleasure to start this auspicious event on this auspicious day, our Gyan Chakshu session season 2. We heartily welcome everyone. A very warm welcome to our beloved Gurudev. Now we would be addressing your question as Gurudev would be enlightening us. So now we would seek for the blessing of Srila Gurudev to start this session. May we start, Gurudev?
Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the very
Jai.
first question for today's session is, why is it often said that special mercy is rarely achieved?
Purity, what is leadership? Sorry.
Why is it often said that special mercy is rarely achieved?
Okay. Right. Now on Vishnu Hare Krishna Pitai Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinale Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvise Singha Vadi Pasatya Adisa Charini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Sadi Gaur Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We wish everyone the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, this yesterday we were remembering a Prabhupada statement which I had from His Holiness Giriraj, that Srila Prabhupada said that the appearance and disappearance of a bona fide spiritual master is the same, no difference. Because both of them means a lot to the life of living entities in general, and particularly devotees. So Srila Prabhupada has come to give us this special message. So the question here was, why special mercy is rare? I can understand it in this way. We know that a honorary degree is not common. Honorary degree is not common. So it is only a foolish person that will wait for honorary degree. A lazy person will wait for that because it's not common. It's not something which you get every day. But to work for your degrees by attending classes every day and practice what that you have been taught and carefully and understand everything and present it at the time of examination, you have your certificate. So it is guaranteed that they're going to get their certificate. But the honorary degree is not something that you are sure you're going to come, because it's not a common thing. It comes once a while. Therefore, it is rare, and one should not wait for that. Let us work for it by the help of the spiritual master and our acharyas, the brahmanas, the scriptures, and the process of devotional service. This thing, success in Krishna consciousness, becomes possible and is guaranteed. Because Krishna said to Uddhava in the 11th canto, because I established the process of bhakti, anyone who took to this process is sure to attain perfection. So it is guaranteed. But a honorary degree, there is no guarantee that you're going to get it. Therefore, it is rarely achieved, and we shouldn't wait for that. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much for this answer. Our next question is, how close does one should get to the spiritual master, or how close one must get to understand the master?
It's a very, very nice question. One should be how close wants to be, how close wants to be to a spiritual master. Our chariots, they mentioned how when they when Krishna and the cowhead boys went to the forest to play. So as Krishna is coming out to meet the boys, all the boys they all ran to come and meet Krishna. So Kavi Kanapura Goswami mentioned there's so many boys. But Krishna consciousness does not depend on how physically close we are to Krishna. Wherever the cowherd boys were standing, according to their relationship with Krishna, they were getting their blessing. So it's not about how physically close we are. And we can understand it this way. Mosquitoes are very close to sadhus. A disciple may not sit on the lap of the sadhu. A mosquito will sit there on the lap of, or even sit on the head of the sadhu. So it's very, very close. Very, very close. But it's giving the sadhu malaria, some disease. So we cannot say that is closeness. Hiranyakasipu is right on the lap of Lord Nrsimha. But how peaceful was it? It was being torn into pieces. And also Prahlad Maharaj was very close there. And it was very, very peaceful. Very, very close. So the closeness to sadhu, the pure devotee, is not something physical. It is spiritual. If you want to have devotion to Krishna, you are close to Krishna. Even if you are thousands of kilometers away, you are the closest person. If you have devotion, if you have love, you have affection for the sadhu, for the guru, for Krishna, even if you are thousands of kilometers, you are closer than the person who is physically sitting there and is very offensive. So the closeness to Krishna, to the sadhu, the spiritual master, should be spiritual. So wherever the cowhead boys were standing, they were getting the appropriate reciprocation from Krishna. So you don't judge who is physically present. One can be physically present and be making offenses. While someone is at a distant place, is getting all the necessary mercy without offenses. His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, was not so close to his guru like most of his god brothers. But he was the one who got the highest empowerment, the highest blessing to represent him and to expand his mission beyond what is expected. Because that is the importance of empowerment. We will be engaged to do something beyond our capacity. That's empowerment. So we are repeating that the closeness should be on consciousness, should be spiritual, not just physical. Yes, the physical closeness is necessary. If we have the chance, it is necessary. Even within that physical closeness, the most important thing is our consciousness. If our consciousness is not proper, our physical closeness is very dangerous, very risky. So the whole thing boils down to the fact that the closeness to the sadhu, to Krishna, to the spiritual master is our consciousness. Even materially speaking, you can see that someone is thinking about the person whom he or she loves, who is in a distant place, and people who are sitting around him or her may not be as close to him or her, depending on the love we have for each other. And when that love is there, physical or geographical distance is not the barrier. It has nothing to do with the love and affection we have for each other. In fact, in the mind, we will bring the person very, very, very intimately close than those who are inimical and are physically close. So let us consider this most important point, the fact that our physical closeness is not important as our spiritual closeness. If our consciousness is very clean and we are constantly thinking of Krishna, as the Prophet said, Vrindavan is the consciousness. If one is in a different place and they constantly thinking rather than Krishna, the person is in Vrindavan. Meanwhile, the person can be physically present in Vrindavan and is all making sense, thinking when he will leave the place because he's not enjoying it. He's not enjoying it. Why is the person not enjoying the place? Because of the fences. This is making. This is my understanding. I hope I'm happily sharing with all of you on this auspicious day of the disappearance. Srila Prabhupada is extremely mercifully closer, intimately closer to people who are not, who did not have a physical connection with him when he was here, than those who have a physical connection with him while he was here before he disappeared. So the whole thing is spiritual. It's better for us to develop this spiritual connection. Our consciousness will be Krishna conscious. Our consciousness will be Guru conscious. Our consciousness will be Sadhu conscious. Then we are intimately connected. As Krishna said in the Gita, those who are intimately connected with me, I consider to be the highest yogi. That is 646, 647. Those who are connected with me, intimately connected with me in the heart. They are the best yogis, the greatest of yogis, not those who are physically connected. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much for answering this question. Our next question is, why it is always said, practice what you preach, and what does it mean?
Practice what we preach. That means integrity. That's integrity. It means that one is not a hypocrite. That's what it means. It means that one is bona fide. Because what did they use? What did they use of empty talks without a substance? One we will be considered to be a cheater or bluffer. If you are promising something you don't have, you are a cheater. So what is the use of talking something that we don't follow ourselves? That is cheating. So integrity means that we are walking our talks. That's America, they say. We walk our talks. We practice what we preach. Or we are example of what we are preaching. or our character is preaching. This is what it means. Our character is preaching, not just our words. Our words can fumble, but our character will never fumble. Our character will stand very clear and speak very loud that distant people can hear it without mistake. No bad network. The network will be very clear. Communication will be very clear. That is what we saw with Sutta Goswami. The qualification Sutta Goswami had to speak the Bhagavatam to the sages and Amisha was his character. He was walking his talk, and they could see that. So they told him, "Now, oh dear Sutta Goswami, before you came in, we sages have been sitting here to perform 1,000 years sacrifice, and our sacrifice is producing on this. Nothing wonderful is coming. But just few words that come from your lotus mouth, it is dissipate the darkness, the smoke. Therefore, we have selected you to speak for us. You should speak for us. And we are ready to extend the duration of our jagya to give you time to completely satisfy yourself by giving us the solution to the questions we have, the 6 questions we have. Your character has made you to stand out. They told Sudha Goswami, all the blessing from your gurus, befitting a gentle and humble, submissive devotee like you have been given to you. So you are different. They didn't ask him to speak the philosophy he learned. They told him, for Sudha Goswami, we are not as fortunate as you are. We don't have long duration of life. We don't have the qualification to hear. We don't have the ability, intelligence to understand everything, to understand the scripture. We are in Kali Yuga, we are disturbed with so many things. But you are different. Therefore, you are our costless mercy. So you tell us the essence of all that you have. Just give us the essence. That is Sutta Goswami. He is for the essence. And he has the qualification to speak his character. So that's what it means, his character. All right.
Yes, Girdhar, thank you so much. And now we have one live question in which the devotee says, as we know that there are different spiritual process in all yugas and only Harinam for Kali Yuga. My question is, if Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana, then why are different processes there for other yugas and not Harinam for other yugas?
For all the yugas, the Harinam is present. All Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, the Harinam is present. There is no yuga that Harinam is not there. It is said that no jagya is complete without the holy name. So, if jagya is not complete without the holy name, means what? The holy name is there in all the ages. The only difference is that in Kali Yuga, it is most prominent. In all the yugas, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayana Namaha, it is present. The holy name is always present in all the yugas. And people have been using the holy name to complete all the jagya, the sacrifices, the worship, and everything they have to do. Holy name complete it. In Kali, it is prominent. It is not less in quality because it is said whatever was possible in Satya, in Treta, in Dwapara, in Kali, it is complete in the holy name. The holy name has all. The holy name has all. So it is most prominent in Kali Yuga that it is the simplest way. It is the simplest way because of all the recommended processes for self-realization. This one is better. Look at the process of Ashtanga Yoga. Look at even the process of the yoga itself. Even the yoga asana. How many people can do it? Even in Kali Yuga, it is just a physical exercise. But even if for a brahmana to chant a mantra, you have to pass through so many rituals before you do that. Therefore, when it is said that the holy name is the easiest, it does not mean it is easier in that way. It is the most difficult of all the processes because this is the last process of attaining Krishna. That if one succeeds in this process, there is nothing left for anyone to do. Everything is complete. So what one will get in Theta Yoga, in Satya and Treta and Dwapara, or what one may not get, it is possible in Kali Yuga because of the holy name. Therefore, the holy name is most exalted than other processes. Other processes are there, but the holy name, the process of holy name is the chief, is the king, is the best. Therefore, it is recommended in Kali Yuga. And Sukadeva Goswami mentioned the last part of it, 12th canto. Kali Dusa Nidhi Rajan. Eka Mahagu. Kirtana Eva Krishna Shah Mukta Sangam Paje. Yes. Eka Mahaguna. The Dosa Nidhi, the Kali Dosa Nidhi. The Kali is an ocean. That is the ocean. In the ocean of fault, the greatest benediction is rising. Rising. The greatest. That is the holy name. Yes. I repeat, what is achievable and unachievable in Satya, in Treta, in Dwapara, in Kali, it is easily attained by the process of Harinam. So it is the best. And nothing can be compared to Harinam. Nothing. There's nothing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, because the holy name contains everything, both material, both liberation, and prema. It's all. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much for answering this question. And now we have one more live question in which the devotee asks, can you please explain what Vani is more important than Vapu actually means?
Vani means instruction. And the Vapu is a physical form. What is the difference? The physical form is not going to be there all the time, but the Vani lives eternally. Instruction lives eternally, like the literature. The literature is eternal. The word is eternal. For generations, the holy name, the word is there. The instruction which is given by a holy person is eternal as because they are all coming from the eternal source, Krishna. So, yeah, the physical form will disappear after some time, but instructions remain eternal. We are still enjoying the proper Bani. His instructions are loaded in his books. We're enjoying that every day. We're getting that. Although in physical form is not here now, but his word is here eternally. For generations, we'll get it. Only a few people saw his physical. For millions of people are seeing his instruction. They're getting purified by instruction. And it is life. As he was physical person. Even more life. That is the importance. And that is the difference. So devotees who are only attached physically, they will have problem when that shelter is not there. So it is important for us to develop a spiritual connection with the spiritual master, so that when the physical body is not there, we will never miss anything, because we already gotten the substance, we already gotten the essence, which is a treasure of eternity in our life. A physical body we're not going to keep. It will disappear after some time. And the scriptures say that when we have the chance to serve the physical form, we should do it. The chance is there, we take good advantage to do it. But we should go for the spiritual. Go for the both of them. We should go for the both. At the same time, we should know that the instruction, the words are superior. The devotees are very experienced because we take advantage of everything. They're using everything in Krishna consciousness. All right.
Yes, Guru. Thank you so much for again answering this question wonderfully. Our next question is it that if a devotee dies without being initiated, he doesn't get liberation no matter what? I have heard that unless one gets a diksha, he cannot go to Krishna. But Krishna always says, whoever dies remembering me goes to him. Could you please explain this?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes. How are we going to go to God without somebody leading us? How would you get it? Unless somebody is leading us, so we can get it. Otherwise, you go to Krishna and ask Krishna, where is Krishna? But if you have gotten the training and you have the associate from the who have invited us, the connection is there. So we are on the right path. So it is compulsory for all devotees to have a bona fide spiritual master. This is recommended in all the scriptures. We should take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and accept the decision from him, and take instruction and execute it to the best of ability. This is a scriptural statement that stands eternally, not sometimes, it stands eternally. And now we also have the instruction that one who remembers me at the time of death will go back to God. But who will remember Krishna at the time of death? Would have been trained by a representative of Krishna. How are we going to remember Krishna? Only we get trained. So the person who is training us, like here in this one, we have a Prabhupada and we have our Diksha group. So the connection is there. And the devotee shooting that no one else is qualified for being the special master for them, only Prabhupada. They are making a very big mistake. They are disrespecting Prabhupada, they are disrespecting the Prabhupada system. And by this, what is offensive? So you cannot go back to Godhead. With this contamination, you cannot go back to Godhead. But one who is sincerely following, one who sincerely follows, because we don't know what is our previous background. We don't know. The level each of us have practiced in the past life and the connection we have now with this person. So someone have practiced so much in the past life, it means very little chance for him or her to go back to Godhead. And it's connected the movement for a short while without taking initiation. Even that the person have had somebody in his mind, and without that also the property is already there. So we have a connection, we have natural connection. In that way, a Christian can take us back. The normal process is we should have a bona fide spiritual master who will train us properly, and by his mercy, we get it. Without the mercy, we cannot. With the mercy, we get it. All right.
Yes, Guruma. Thank you so much. Our next question is, what about those Mayavadis who glorify devotees, the Vaishnavas, but don't want to philosophy? Some of gurus in India, they are Mayavadis, but they are glorifying Srila Prabhupada a lot.
If they genuinely in a Lord Gita 4:9 purport towards the end, so the Prabhupada said this Mayavadis, their fortune is when they will have connection, they have the blessing with pure devotee, then their life will become meaningful. So if they are glorifying the Prabhupada and was genuinely from the heart, and they are not using that as an advertisement so they can get the proper disciples, that's an offense. These are cheaters. But someone who is genuinely glorifying, appreciating Srila Prabhupada, that means he has gotten the message of Prabhupada, because to glorify a pure devotee is very, very purifying. They will have the connection of Prabhupada, and then that will be their fortune. Otherwise, they will not go anywhere. They will merge into Krishna because they're very offensive. They will be punished to merge into Krishna's form. In Krishna's light, and remain there for years and years and years to suffer. It's not depression, it is suffering. Because merging into Krishna is like you are asked to sit in one room for life. You don't do anything, just sit in one place for life. For 100 years. Who will do that? Is that enjoyment? That's what it means. Impersonal regression means that we merge into Krishna's light. And be in the light. Do what? There's nothing to do. It's not serving, nothing. Just stay in one place. Or if someone say you're too tired, you can just sleep. If you just keep sleeping, you become paralyzed, because what they're doing will not be function again after some time. So that is not liberation. It is suffering. It is punishment. Liberation is when one is bhakti to anattarupam swarupena vyapastiti. That is renunciation. That is liberation. That one is reinstated in our original constitutional position as a eternal servant of Krishna. That is liberation. Anything beyond this, it is punishment. Going to merge into Krishna's body or merge into the effulgence of Krishna, it is punishment, not liberation. So they will be made fortunate when they have the mercy of the pure devotee. They are glorifying Prabhupada genuinely, they will get Prabhupada's mercy, and that will be their look for to disentangle themselves from the contamination. Like Shukadev Goswami, he had the same Bhagavatam from his father. The same personalism disappeared. The folk mourners, when they smell the tulsi, the aroma of tulsi Devi from the lotus of Krishna, their personalism disappeared. Then all became personal. So we have have some connection to be able to get this freedom, the pure devotee. So let them continue to glorify Prabhupada genuinely. That is their fortune. I know somebody who is glorifying Prabhupada, even chant his pranam. My own Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami. He's chanting that to get his own devotees. He's not chanting that to glorify Prabhupada. I know someone like that. For them, they are cheated. They're increasing their sinful life. So they won't get anything. But those who are genuinely glorifying Prabhupada, they are blessed. They have the message of God. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. So our last question for today's session is, how can one become a very good listener?
Very good listener.
Yeah.
How to become a good listener. Sutra Goswami mentioned in first canto Bhagavad. Shusho Sadhana Asya Vasudeva Katariti. Vasudeva Katariti. For one to have an affinity to hear, Punya Tirtha the same. One must have a service with purity. Service with purity would qualify one to have the eagerness to hear. Excuse me. To hear Krishna Katha. That is what is recommended in this Bhagavad. Is Sutta Goswami speak. Punya Tirtha the same. Service with pure devotee. It brings the qualification, the eagerness to hear about Krishna. The qualification to hear about Krishna is that one must have faith in the speaker. One must be very, very eager to hear. Who is going to be eager to hear is one who is not feeling comfortable in material facilities for Krishna. One who is feeling comfortable here would not have that eagerness to hear. But it will be a joke. There is a need to be humble, humility. If one is not humble, he cannot hear. One would think, I already know what he's going to speak. You know you, and what are you going to speak? What will you speak? I know everything. I know the limit. How much local you know? Two. I have 1,000. So I should speak, not you. So you should hear from me. So without humility, one will be proud like this and will not hear. So to hear is humility, there is faith. There is faith. We trust the person who wants to speak. They're going to say something that will benefit us. There is eagerness, and the service to devotee gives a qualification to hear about it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Gurudev. So we have reached to the end of today's session. It's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Thank you all for your patience. Our deepest gratitude to all who have attended today's session. We will soon return with another question answer session. Please do send us your question either in Facebook or YouTube channel. You can also email your question on the ID mentioned in the description. If by any chance your question is unheard, we make sure that we answer your question in the next session. And we thank Gurudev so much for enthusiastically answering all our questions and being with us once again. Thank you, Gurudev, and all the assembled devotees. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.